Welcome to the 125th episode of the MC Knitting Adventures podcast. My name's Colleen.
And my name is May. Welcome, returning viewers. And for those of you watching us for the first time, we're so glad you could join us. Today I'm excited because Colleen and I actually went on a little field trip and an adventure, not too far from our home, but it might be far from your home. And it was in Woodstock, Ontario, and it was called
A Thoughtful Artisan.
And we had a lovely time there. But before we talk about the
adventure.
Before we talk about the adventure, we will talk about, or Colleen will tell you what we are wearing.
Perfect. So we are both wearing the same thing, and it looks very different. So part of the reason why we're doing this is to show you that you can take a big shawl and make it something small. So this is the Katie shawl by Cozy Up Designs, or Cozy Up Knits, and it's a lovely pattern. And so what was happening when I was making mine, I had just started doing this part, and May said, "Oh, I really like that." And I thought, okay, I can do this. So let's talk about May. The yarn that I used for May's is Barocco Comfort Sock, and it is nylon and acrylic, and that's because sometimes wool and you don't get along so very well, and that's nice and soft.
Yeah, and it's not going to keep you really super warm, but it's more for style. I'm styling.
You are styling for sure.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about that is I just did the first little part, and then I folded the corners of the triangle and made it so it could just pull over your head.
And I appreciate all the work you did involved in that. It looks
No
nice,
problem.
Yeah.
Now mine is the full version of the Katie shawl, and I use two yarns. One is Crooked Kitchen Yarns, and this, if you are a person, and I have become that person, that some grays don't look good on me. This is such a pretty, it's called Ghosts in the Machine, and it's such a pretty blue-gray. Love it. So that is this
I think
gray
some gray,
blue.
that goes well because it's darker than your hair, so it
Yeah.
kind of just grounds you. But
Yeah.
I think if you get a lighter gray, it kind of
Right.
meshes in with the hair.
And I just look like one color.
Yeah, so that's perfect.
Okay.
Right?
And the navy is a Malabrigo sock, which is lovely. And it's nice and warm. And we've got nice temperatures, so I don't really need to be quite so nice and warm. But it's good. I'm not too hot. So that's what we're wearing. And next we're going to talk about finished objects. My first finished object, or objects, is some sashiko. Anyway, sashiko, one of those things. And I'm so happy with these. So the first one I did was the hemp leaf pattern. Now this one is called the wave pattern.
I can see why it's called the wave pattern, because it's a total wave.
And this one was easier to do because there's longer ways to carry the thread. But I'm really happy. And after you've done one of these, and this one is a hanafukin is what it is. It's a Japanese cloth is what it is. Then you get better at, how do I have to cut it? How do I have to sew them together? So that one's all done.
I think this is great. This is your second attempt?
That's my second attempt.
So for your second attempt, it's perfect. Like even in the back, look at that.
So no knots.
Yes.
I didn't do a single knot. So.
And this is the material with the colors on it, and when you soak it, it turns blue, but it doesn't turn the white blue.
It doesn't. And somebody had mentioned it, and I actually took a little bit of a video, and
we're going to put that in?
I think we should put it in.
Okay, let's see the water and see what it comes out like.
Amazing. Okay, I did have to soak it twice, but the fabric wasn't blue anyway, but I just wanted to make sure I washed any remnants out.
Oh, very nice.
So that's that one. And this one is called Linked 7 Treasures. This is my favorite, I must admit.
This is nice too. These would be nice on the wall, both in the same frame, both on the wall. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like having wooden frames and then having one there and one there like that.
Oh, that would be nice.
That would be nice.
It would be nice.
Because what else would you do with that?
Well, technically,
Placemats.
you could use it as a placemat. Technically, you can use it as a cloth. Like actually,
Oh,
but
okay.
who wants to clean your
Yeah.
your sink with this? I don't think so. If May tries to do it, I'm taking it away from her.
Well, you'd just be happy that I'd be cleaning the sink. I'd be go ahead, knock yourself out.
There you go.
Very nice.
So
Good
I'm really
job.
pleased with that.
So that
So
kept you kind of busy.
it did, and it's, when you've done cross stitch or you've done other embroidery, this is a little bit more relaxing because there's not a bunch of colors. And this kit that I bought, so it had the thread and it had the fabric, had some instructions. It had all the little dotted spots, so you could get used to the length of you needed to between the stitches. Now, you can also do it and just draw solid circles, for instance, in that one, and then you have to make the thing. So it's a little interesting, but it's so much fun. You know me, I knew something. I loved it. So that was a lot of fun. Now, my next finished object is the Agent 99 cowl by Dawn Maurer. And May had said, wouldn't that be nice in a cream color, just like on the pattern? So I used Red Heart Soft, and this is off-white. And there it is. So I did steam block this, and I had to be careful, and I nearly wasn't as careful as I needed to be, but it makes it lay flat, and I think it would fit nicely over, and I'm really happy with the texture.
Yeah, very nice.
Really happy with that texture.
Really nice. But this certainly would have to have been blocked, correct?
Yes, it did. It did. And it's not, it's an acrylic yarn, so as a result, then you have to do a different kind of blocking.
Really nice. Good
Thank
job.
you.
Nice.
All right, so that's that.
Wow.
Oh, so many things. Now, my next finished objects are really, you've seen them with the pom-poms on, but you hadn't seen them with the tags on, and it really does make a difference. Now, I've been in a number of yarn stores where they actually have tags that you can buy. Some say, I hope you understand how long it took me to make this. Now, we ordered our tags and we decided to make it look like a little mountain because it was an adventure. So here
that's a good idea. That's what we did think that through. I forgot about that.
Exactly. So here are the hats.
Oh, sorry, I just scratched you, I think.
Oh, it's okay. No problem. And there they are. So it's nice. I think when you put the tag on, it just kind of polishes it up.
Finishes it up, yeah.
Yeah,
Gives it
I really
that
like
finished
this.
touch. Really
And
nice.
this pattern is the Chunky Cabled Hat by Destiny Meyer.
Oops, I got something on that one. There you go.
It's probably a
Yeah.
embroidery thread.
Yeah.
So anyway, lovely pattern. Knits up fast. If you want to get started on Christmas presents, those would be great. Absolutely.
Nice.
And I use the Charisma acrylic, and that's by Loops and Thread. So that's that. Now, you want to have something that matches that. So I was busy working on another one of our booth things. So that's the Christine Button Cowl, and that's by Cozy Up Knits, Cozy Up Designs. Once again, whoops, I used the Loops and Thread. And if you want to hold up that hat, May, look at us matching. And the cables are very similar.
Right, that's great.
I know, it's quite a nice set, so I'm really happy with that.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah.
I think those would sell when we do our booth.
That's the plan.
Yeah, those would be great.
So that's that. Now, my last finished object is kind of, it's one of those things you think, why are you doing it in February? But it is one of the 12 Days of Baubles, and this is actually the first one that helps you to get the gauge. So it's just plain knitting. And there it is.
Very
and
nice.
this is to go, I have to, yes, I have to, send a care package to my son in Hong Kong. And it takes 2 to 3 months for it to get to him, and his birthday's at the end of May. So that's going in with the pair of socks that you saw last time. And this is Opal by, and it's called Vincent van Gogh. And that is the Starry Night, which is a beautiful painting.
Very nice.
So those are my finished objects. And May, how about you?
Well.
Tell me what you've been in through.
Colleen's been busy sewing and knitting and carrying on with that. But I don't know if you knew, if you watched several podcasts before, Colleen and I had done the Ancestry test.
Correct.
And we had got the results back. So we'll share those results with you. I am 63% Scottish, 64% Scottish, 36% Irish. Yes. No surprise there.
Nope.
Also, you had no surprises.
Well, I was 42% Scottish, 19% Irish. That did surprise me. I thought that number would be higher. I've got some of
like very minimum amount of Wales.
Northern Europe and Wales and United Kingdom.
Right.
And a little bit of Norway. I must have been an ancestor of some Vikings, maybe with it.
Wow, that's interesting. Mm-hmm. Now, yeah, mine were pretty straightforward.
Yours were
Irish
straightforward.
And Scottish. Mm-hmm. So in the Ancestry, when you do your Ancestry,
Right.
which I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, you would have to make that decision.
Right.
When we did the Ancestry, I got mine back, and it had some relatives there, close relatives.
Right.
Now, one close relative was a first cousin once removed. I think there was 2 there. Never heard of them. Don't know who they are.
Oh my goodness.
That's why you want to do this or you don't want to do this.
Right.
So now we've got some relatives that I didn't even know existed, which is a good thing. And I've also been in touch with the one who lives in Scotland,
Right.
who knows a lot of the same people. So it's
Okay.
very interesting who
It
had
is
this child
interesting.
and how that all worked.
That's right.
So I have been like obsessed.
That's a good word for it. Yes.
Obsessed
Yep.
on my computer,
Yep.
researching. We even paid the extra money to do on Ancestry, but it didn't really.
You got a few more
more
things.
things.
Yeah.
Researching as to find out who this relative belongs to, and she is in the same. Now she's obsessed, and with me checking with other relatives in
That's right.
Scotland,
Yeah.
second cousins and different things.
Yeah.
Now they're obsessed.
And most times in the morning, May says this, I have another scenario. I have another scenario.
Here's an idea. Here's an idea. So it's
Lots of
become
fun.
my obsession. So I haven't been doing my miniatures. I
No.
haven't been doing anything for going to shows. I haven't
No.
been doing soaps. We're going to get back into doing soaps.
Absolutely.
I haven't been doing anything but being obsessed with this computer and this Ancestry.
That's right.
I'm going to have to kind of, because I miss Colleen too. I miss you because we used to kind of hang out and do things. We did go to a movie the other day.
Yeah.
But poor Colleen, she's kind of on her own because I'm so obsessed with this whole
Except
thing.
when you come over and say, okay, let's try this one out.
Colleen will help me. She's very patient, and you've been listening to me, so
I have.
I
You've been
apologize
doing a great job. No.
in front of everybody.
No, you don't need to
So,
apologize. You're having fun. That's the important part.
Anyway, that's what all I've been doing, and I just feel that I have to kind of block times. Like, so I
Right.
think what I'm going to do is times I'm going to work on Ancestry because
That's a great idea.
It
That's a
consumes
great
you.
idea. Yeah.
It really does because that's all I think about. I try to think scenarios. I'm not really present.
Right.
I-
That's true.
You agree with that?
Yep.
And
You'll
my-
be driving and I'm going, what are you thinking about?
Yeah.
And you'll be saying, I have an idea.
And Colleen and I don't know if you know this, in past podcasts, we had talked about Colleen and I getting tested to become number 3 pickleball players,
We did.
pickleball players. And we got tested and we have become 3 pickleball players. Now, I must admit, since the Ancestry thing and since getting tested, my game has gone goo. So I'm not sure which it is, because I got tested or because I'm not present.
Well, you know what? I hadn't thought about that, but
That could be that I'm
Yeah.
not really present. I'm constantly thinking about who these relatives are, which
Right.
has consumed me. So I've got to kind of figure that out.
Yes.
So sorry about that.
No,
I don't
no,
have
no.
anything to share with you guys. I'm sorry.
But you've been having fun, and that's the
I
important
have,
part.
yes.
All right, so that's our finished objects, and next we're going to talk about works in progress. My first work in progress it's called a Fagoted Lace Chemo Cap, and it's by Gail Pounds. Now this has a rolled brim, and I don't like the rolled brim, but what I did was just make a small, I think it's 8 rows that I did, of a ribbing at the bottom.
I much prefer the ribbing than I do that.
The
When I
rolled
see the
one.
picture, it looks like you haven't blocked it.
I know. Now
This
this
looks like-
is Barocco Comfort DKs, and this is, so it's a sport weight. Lovely. It's one of the
Beautiful yarn.
yarns that's recommended to be used if somebody's got cancer and they need to have something soft against their skin. So
It's beautiful yarn.
yes, it is beautiful yarn. And so our friend has been, how many hats did we give her? A number of hats.
4 or 5 hats.
4 or 5 hats, and she now is able to wear the hats, and she's loving them. So one
Yes.
of the hats that I made for her was this in kind of a taupey color. So I thought, well, I'll either make one for her that's blue, we'll see if she needs it, or maybe she can
Right.
take it down to the cancer
Yeah.
ward and she can give it to
That'd be
somebody.
great. Yeah, it would be nice. Like, it's nice and soft on your skull.
Exactly, yeah.
And everything like that. So she had
Exactly.
surgery right on her skull. It's not just from her hair
No,
falling
exactly,
out. It's actual surgery
Yeah.
in her skull, in
Yeah.
her head. So yeah, I think that'll work out
That'll
great.
work out
Now
nice.
you've already given her one of these, but this
Yes.
is nice too. To,
Yeah, just
uh,
and well, so we'll see.
you know.
We'll ask her if she needs another one or whether
Right.
what she thinks. We'll leave that one up to her. So that's that. Now my second work in progress. Very exciting. So there'd been all this thing about the Petite Knits Sophie scarf. And I had made it using La Bien-Aimée, which is lovely yarn. My goodness, this was Merino DK.
So like this.
I love this color. So anyway, but it's a little bit heavier. And I thought, wouldn't it be nice to have something similar, but maybe a little bit lacier? Not quite lacier, but...
I kind of like that look.
Yeah, I like that look.
It depends what look you're going for. If
That's
you're looking
true.
for lacy look, then yes. But if you're looking for modern, I think chic.
Right.
Chic, modern, this is it.
Well, I think when you see this, you'll think this is chic and modern too. Well, like when I said the word lacy, it's not. It's just got eyelets, so you'll see.
It's not grandmother lacy.
It's not grandmother lacy. That's a good way to put it. Okay. You know, we've got friends that are grandmothers, and I don't think they appreciate that.
Great grandmother lacy.
Let's go with that one. All right, so this is by Greta Mensen. This is called La Laguna, which means the lagoon. And
nice.
It's lovely.
It hangs nice
Now,
on the
I've lost
picture
the
here.
ball of yarn. It just went crazy. Now, this yarn is Midnight Cravings, and it is their light sock. The color is deep sea, so it's the lagoon, and I'm using deep sea, so it's all a water theme.
Beautiful color, isn't it?
I am so happy with this. So what's really nice about this, we'll just do that, is that it's similar in construction, that it starts narrow, goes to wider, and then goes back narrow. So when I said lacy, maybe lacy isn't the right word.
This is not great grandma lacy. This is a nice lacy, like modern chic.
Exactly.
Also. So either way,
I think it would be nice undercoat. And this yarn is beautiful. Woolen Silk Company in Shelburne, Ontario. They carry Midnight Cravings, and I have made a couple of things out of that yarn. It's, oh my gosh, it's so nice. It's really, really nice. Love it.
We'll put that there so it's attached to the ball.
Okay, because the ball is way over there. You know, ball down! What are you going to do? All right, so that's that. Now, my next work in progress. There's a whole story. So let me tell you the story. So this is what I bought from Michael's. It's a cross-stitch kit, loops and threads. It's Cherry Blossoms is what it's called. Love it. And I thought my nephew is having a baby girl, and I thought, okay, I could do that. It'd be nice to put up on the wall. It'd be great. When I opened up this package, first of all, the Ada cloth is a little crunchy, which it can be, but it's nice. Anyway, then
is it chintzy?
I would not say chintzy. It's Ada cloth, but I just found
Harsh?
Crunchy is the best word. It's got a little bit more texture to it than I'm used to, which isn't a problem.
Starchy, I think.
Exactly. And the other thing is the pattern itself is all one color, and all these little symbols, which wouldn't necessarily be a problem. But the problem is all the colors are so close together that the difference between a very light pink, a light pink, and a pink isn't that much. So I was working on this, and every time I did something, I went, May, it's driving me crazy. She goes, Colleen, just don't do it. And no, I got to do something. So anyway, I had this epiphany. I went, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I did part of it, there's a butterfly, and I thought, oh, that's a good way to finish it up there. So this lovely little butterfly up here. And so what I did was I thought, okay, this is supposed to be in an 8-inch frame, and I thought I am just going to do enough to do a 6-inch frame. So I made some executive decisions down here, because this is kind of the left to right. Made some executive decisions down here about how to put the flowers in and how to do the outline, and I thought that is enough. I'm happy with it. It looks good.
Because the pattern kind of went all over the page here like this, and you just cut the pattern short.
I just shortened it, and I had to do a little bit of fancy footwork, but it good, and I'm happy with it. I've got a lovely. Oh, are you okay?
Yep.
Pattern down. We're just falling apart here. So I've got one of the brown. It looks like wood grain, but it's plastic hoops to do that has the thing to hang it up. So I think it's going to be.
I bet
good.
you're so glad you're finished.
I am.
This does feel very, very crunchy. Like you're right. It's thick.
Yeah.
It feels like starchy.
So the trick is that now I have to get it into a frame and figure out how to make it look nice on the back. I'm going to do some research on that to figure out what I can do.
Well, you've got way more patience than I do, I'll tell you.
She just kept saying, get rid of it. Just get rid of it. It's not worth it. And I think the other thing is I had worked with something from Caterpillar Cross Stitch and their Ada cloth is lovely. It's not that. And so I think I was spoiled a little bit.
And you're getting to know more about the different cloths and the textures and stuff,
Exactly.
right? The more you do this.
Yep, exactly. All right, my last work in progress, because once again, I have to put it in a hoop, was some embroidery that I did a long time ago. So this is Patterns Cherish is what it says up there. That's the company. This was from Amazon. I think you got 3 in the kit. And here it is.
Wow.
So it took me, once I made my I thought, I am finishing up these things, and that is what's happening. They're getting done. And so I'm happy with that. I'm going to put it in a hoop and then figure out a nice place to put it.
Now, is it cloth too, or no?
No, that's more of a linen-y kind of thing.
Yeah,
It's not quite linen,
nice.
but there we go. So I'm happy how that one finished up. It's going to be nice to have to figure out where we're going to put it. But
Right.
put
Very
it in a
nice.
hoop.
A lot of
I'm
work.
gonna-
A lot of work in that. Good
Well,
job,
and you
though.
know what? It feels good to have them done. This one I did the whole thing. I was, 3/4 of the way done. I thought, why did I put it aside? But then there's Christmas gifts and booth knitting and making
Right.
soap and all those things. We do lots of things. And so, but I'm happy that it's done. We'll put it in a hoop and then we'll see
Yeah.
what we're going to do from there.
Very nice.
So those are my works in progress. And May, how about you?
Well, it's been my obsession with Ancestry. That is my finished. It's not finished. It's an ongoing
It's a
project.
work in
It's a
progress,
work in
that's right.
progress for sure. So yeah, other than my obsession, and you've been so good. Look at all the things I didn't even know you've been doing all this stuff. That's how I'm not engaged in life here. But anyway, it was good. We did get a break the other day when we went to the movie. What was it called? Spy?
No, it was called Argyle.
Argyle?
Lots of twists and turns. It was
Yeah.
really good.
So yeah, we would recommend that movie.
Yeah,
It was a
it was
good
good.
movie. Yeah. So there you go.
All right, so those are our works in progress. And next we're going to talk about our adventure.
Our adventure took us to Woodstock, Ontario, which is about 40 minutes from our house. And this store has been up since last August. And so we've talked about going there, and it's been so close that we just didn't go, which
That's
is
right.
unfortunate. I wish we had gone earlier.
That's right.
It was an awesome store. We found it without any problem.
No.
And Colleen, we met the owner. She was lovely. Colleen can talk all about it. And you know about the yarns she had and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. So, lovely store. So, once again, it's called the Thoughtful Artisan, Fine Yarns and Handcrafted Items. And her name is Anne Bedard. She is lovely. So, for us, the reason why we didn't get there sooner was it was winter. We were worried about snow. And her hours were different. And
Right.
so it was nice to talk to her to understand her hours. So her hours are in the evening and then on Saturday. You can check her website and then you'll see that. And the reason for that is she has a full-time job
Right.
other than the store. So
Right. And the reason being, Colleen and I don't, because you get older, we don't drive at night the same.
Not the
and
same.
so it was 40 minutes away. It was in Woodstock.
Yeah.
And it was probably at night. We didn't want it was dark.
Right.
We didn't want to drive. And that was
Yeah.
probably part of the reason, I
Right.
would think.
And then there was
on
snow.
Saturday,
Yeah.
then there was snow. And then on Saturdays, you tend to go to your mom's. So
Right.
Saturdays were kind of an out thing.
Right.
But then we just decided to make the time
We
to
did.
go sometime on a Saturday.
It was
Because
a
you
Saturday.
changed your mom's, that's what happened. You changed
changed it
seeing
to a
your
Thursday
mom.
so then we could go
So
on.
then we could go on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And so
It
I'm
worked
glad
out.
we did, because the store was, when I walked in, we've been to a lot of yard stores.
Exactly.
And when you walk in, it's organized, it's clean, it's bright. The artwork was just phenomenal. And
Yeah.
the artwork in the store was all done by the local artist.
What an amazing store. Fantastic. Now, when we were talking to Anne, what I really liked, because she has lots of crochet stuff in her store, and it's like she said she wants them not to feel left out. And I like that idea, because to be honest with you, I started crocheting before I was ever a knitter.
Wow.
Now, must admit, that was my grandma teaching me how to crochet, which was great, but some of you are as old as me and will remember the yarn, it was called Fentex. Ugh. Anyway, we won't even talk about that anymore. But I crocheted bedspreads for my sister and I did all kinds of stuff. So it was nice to see some crochet, and she actually has classes in Tunisian crochet.
Wow.
If she has one on a Saturday, I might have to go.
And actually, she was having another class.
A brioche class.
Yes.
Exactly. And it's interesting how the knitting world is so small. She goes, oh, Louise is coming to teach a knitting class. Do you know Louise? I went, oh, yeah, we know
Yeah.
Louise. We knew.
So, hi, Louise.
Exactly. So it was lovely to see everything. There were some project bags. There's needles and hooks. She has mainly, well, she said Canadian yarn and from Canadian dyers. She does bring in Malabrigo, which I love because Malabrigo is a lovely yarn and it gives her a little bit more. It was just, you could go from here to there to all kinds of notions. It was just really well done and bright. And the way she has her classroom, which is at the front of the store, it's the really big window. And she said it holds about 7 people, 7 or 8 people. And so it's a great place to have a class.
Yeah.
So I really am going to keep an eye on her website and see if there's a class that I could go to. I'd love to do that.
That'd be great. Yeah.
So we
it
had
was
a great time.
adventure. Now I can't remember if we did lunch. Like it's been a couple of weeks,
Right.
And my memory isn't the sharpest
Right.
these days. So I can't remember if we went out for lunch, if we did lunch, or
I think we went to Kelsey's for lunch, I think.
I think we did. Oh, that's right. We did go to Kelsey's in Woodstock.
That's right.
That's right. Okay. So
Now, just let me say a few more things about Anne. So she had a trailer that she used to put the yarn in and take it around to places.
Right.
So she did that for 2 or 3 years.
So some of you may have seen her on your travels.
Exactly. She's got brioche classes, cross-stitch classes, crochet classes, knit classes, and she really is there to support makers. And there was, it's interesting once again how small the world is, because when Anne was helping somebody, and when we walked in, and the lady turned around and said,
I met you.
I met you in Ridgeway, which is the creative knitter that is in Ridgeway. And I thought, oh my gosh, like that's Niagara Falls-ish way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it is a small world.
It is a small world. So that was really nice. And Anne was great with us. And we really appreciate it when you get a store owner that
lets us take photos.
lets us take photos and gives of their time, which was nice.
Yeah, it was nice.
really,
It was
really
really
good.
nice.
So we had a great time there. So thanks, Anne, very much. So that's our adventure. And next we're going to talk about souvenirs.
Well, although I've been obsessed with my Ancestry type thing, I have to maintain my store because the products I've been selling, so I have to
Right.
get products. So I have been in between quickly going on to auctions and
Right.
on my way I might drop into the secondhand store.
Right.
And I did find a couple of little items that I've taken, like really great things I got at the auction, but unfortunately I didn't take pictures and I didn't locate
okay.
them. So
Right.
they're not here.
Okay.
Anyway, but I do have a picture of one of the things I picked up. It's a Fritz and Floyd cookie jar, and it's a car, and I just loved it. I thought it was great. I got that at secondhand store. Now you think secondhand stores things would be cheaper, but it was $20.
Oh, my goodness,
But
that's
I'll
right.
probably be able to sell this cookie jar probably for $60 or $70.
Right.
Because I think they go on eBay for a lot more. So
I think you have, as I've said before, you have a great eye to pick things up, and you're very good at pricing things properly too.
Right. So that's basically only my souvenir that I will be selling, hopefully. And what about you?
Okay, well, the Thoughtful Artisan. So I looked at a lot of things, and this is actually very bizarre, because full circle. So at the Creative Knitter in Ridgeway, I had picked up a skein of her DK, so the Creative Knitter DK yarn, and made the Zuzu's Petals cowl. Maybe I'll wear that next time. So I made that, loved it, and I thought, ooh, I could go for some more tweed yarn. Now, so I looked and looked, and there was this yarn, and it's the Loving Path Fiber Arts, and it is tweed. Now, once again, full circle. The dyer, Debbie, who makes this yarn, I did yoga classes with her.
You
Way
did?
back when. Yes, absolutely. So I know her. We know each other to say hi. And her yarn is beautiful. She does a great job. And this is such a pretty blue. Oh, I'm so excited.
Nice.
As I sit here in blue. I'm so excited about
Yeah,
it. So
that's
that
nice.
yarn, I'm gonna make some kind of cowly kind of thing. I just have to do some work.
That's really
I'd love
nice.
to make a hat, but I don't wear hats that often because
Yeah,
normally
no.
if it's really cold, we don't go out.
Yeah, that's true.
Except if I'm going to the mailbox.
Yeah, it's not like when you're going to work. Like when
No.
we work now, we're retired. We don't have to go out.
Right.
And even we're only we're out of a warm car into a warm building.
That's right.
Where we walk is it's not
Exactly.
putting a hat on. It's only like 10 feet.
And then you get your hair all
Yeah.
messed up, and there you go.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy with
Nice.
that. And this is called Steeled, which is it is a steely blue. Very nice. Now, what was very nice is Anne said, "Oh, I've got something for you," and she gave me a project bag pin.
She gave me one also, but I gave it back because I don't want to take her things because I don't
No.
use project bag paints,
That's
but
right.
you do. You love
Yeah,
them.
I do.
So there you go.
Yeah, I know, and it's a
nice.
cardinal, and I love cardinals because there's a thing about cardinals that when you see one, it is supposed to remind you of somebody who's
Somebody who
passed away.
yeah.
And so it's such a beautiful thing. Now, what I have when I don't have a project bag that I'm using is I made this, and there is a tutorial on how this gets made. So this is what I've made.
You didn't do the tutorial though.
Ouch!
Oh.
There might be a pin on the back of it.
Is there?
Yeah,
Yes.
there's a pin.
Oh dear. You
Don't
okay?
worry, I'm fine. No blood involved. It's all good.
You didn't do the tutorial when I was
Yes,
gonna say.
I totally did
Oh,
the
you
tutorial.
did the tutorial.
I did. And so I have a lot of pins. Some's from River City Yarns, some from Four Pearls Yarns. There's from places all over. This one called Skein
What's
of the
that
Crime.
pin?
Yep. Skein of the Crime. That one's from Scotland. So there's lots up there. So I have just enough little space to put the wee cardinal up here somewhere. And then when I want to put it on a project bag, I just take it off of that and do that. So that's kind of fun if you like to collect pins. It's
That's
a great way of
yeah.
setting up.
This is a cool thing. I love
Yep.
that. You could do that with other things too.
Absolutely.
Very nice.
So I'm so excited about this. I
Yes.
think this might go in my project bag before
Yeah.
it sits on there for a while.
All right. Well, you didn't do too bad for souvenirs this time.
No,
you didn't go
I didn't.
crazy and buy a
No,
ton
I'm
of things,
trying
which is
to
good.
be good, but as I said,
Yeah.
I think this is only the second thing that's actual tweed yarn that I
Yeah.
have done. So
Wow.
I really like that.
This is the year of not spending, but actually saving or making.
Making to sell.
Making
This
some.
I will not be making to sell. I just have to tell you, the yarn's too. I'm not selling this one. Sometimes when you're using yarn, even you'd have to sell it for less that you paid the yarn for.
Yes, because
And it doesn't make any sense.
I saw just the price of this yarn here.
Yes,
and
you
I thought, I thought, and I didn't even react on camera. Isn't
It's
that
good. She's very good. She's learning.
But if you were to make this, you'd have to sell this for $80, $90, whatever
Exactly.
it is.
And
who's
there's
gonna
not,
buy? No.
Yeah, no.
It's not
So
gonna
that
happen.
sometimes you just buy
you
yourself a
don't.
little something.
Yeah, treat yourself. Life's
And
short.
Life's short. Treat yourself. Ooh, there's my new motto.
Oh, I don't want to give you an inch. Because you'll take a mile.
I might. There you go. A mile of yarn. There we go. All right. So thank you so much for watching. If you like what you're seeing, give us a thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe. We really do enjoy doing this for you. We're looking forward to warmer weather, longer days so we can get out and do more adventures. So until next time,
You take care.